right, well, Mason, looks like you guys might have a little work to do this evening, so good luck, and hopefully we'll see you back here tomorrow.
All right, you do.
Thanks a lot, Mason, with Chambers County Career Technical Center, Team 1, joining us from Lafayette, Alabama. In the meantime, let's head back down to Todd, who's got the next team at the starting gate.
Hey, Bill, we're going to go to Venice, Italy. Do you want to sing a song for me? No? I'm not hearing anything from Bill. Okay, so I want you to tell me both. I'm not making you sing. I'm making Bill sing. Tell me both
you don't
schools.
Want that, Todd.
All right, Bill. The organization you're with is?
Yeah, it's International Space Education Institute in Leipzig in Germany.
All right, and your school in Venice?
Yeah, it's Liceo Benedetti. Yeah.
All right. Welcome to the United States.
Thank you. Yeah.
How was your trip?
It was really long, but it's exciting to be here. I mean, it's really good.
All right, so tell me your name.
Yep, I'm Simon. Simon Galetti.
Let me get around the dish here, and you are?
Hi, I'm Laura.
Laura, okay.
Yeah.
So, Laura, when you built this rover, you guys built it in Venice, right?
No, we built only the back axle in Venice, and there we built the Moonbuggy with some pieces from Germany and other from India, because we are the same team, India and Italy.
Okay, so that's a combination. Now, how does that work? Did you get a chance to practice driving this before you came here?
Not before we came here, but we came to Huntsville about 1 week ago, and it was, we had to struggle a lot to build it really fast, and then once it was built, we had some test drives only in the last week, so we're not that experienced, but we'll try our best.
Terrific. So how did the fold-up activity, the 4x4x4 requirement, how did that work for you?
Yeah, it was all good. No penalty. Even the carrying and the opening. We did at 8 seconds. It's not bad. So, happy.
So tell me, what I'm going to ask you about is the gears. Are you going to be shifting gears and changing so you can make the hill climb?
Yeah, we have differential gears under the seat, and it all works pretty good, but we're thinking not to change gears too high because we saw a lot of bubbies broke and we don't want to go that fast because we want to finish the race. Okay.
Terrific. Well, thank you for talking to me. Good luck with the race.
Thank you.
All right, Bill. Man, that was cool. Venice. All right, back to you.
Another one of those international teams. We're glad they're here.
Indeed.
Thanks very much. So this is, one of the, we've heard from the international teams who've done very well in the past, and they've just expanded the International Space Education Institute. We've had, so far we've seen the team from Germany, the team representing Russia, and now this team is the team representing Italy. Getting their final checkouts.
And they're off.
33% battery. I'm still working.
So since they're one of the newer teams, I don't have a whole lot on them, actually.
I'll give it right back.
The first year for them to compete in the Great Moonbuggy race, so let's see how they turn out. Of course, they've got a little bit of heritage with them, so I'm sure they've shared some with their partners with the International Space Education Institute.
As they approach the obstacle, here they come. Up and...
There they go.
There they go. They cleared that one.
Lesson learned. Momentum. Once again, momentum.
Before we left to go back to the starting line, I was commenting on what I've been able to observe with the tires, and it seems that the vehicles that have the larger diameter tires have been able to negotiate a lot of these obstacles a lot better. The smaller diameter tires seem to get hung up inside often, and the teams just really have a hard time getting through and extricating them.
That's a good point, Jeff. So as they head down Heritage Row between those rockets there, some labeled with Army, some labeled just USA. Heading out towards Obstacle 5 and pushing through that one just fine. You're right, you actually make a good point, though, that even though there's, for example, the team that had made the six-wheeled buggy, there were still 6 small wheels. So you were hoping that if one of those got stuck in, the others would help push it through.
This team is moving along at a fairly good pace.
Team Italy from the International Space Education Institute, based out of Leipzig, Germany. Uh-oh, looks like one of their wheels may have gotten a little bit too far sideways. I know some of the ones they handle their shocks on. the stability on them is making it so those wheels do turn like that. Whether or not that one's going to straighten up is going to be a question here. Because you can see the tops of the wheels are already skewed in a little bit towards the top. But that one, wow, and it's still rolling though. It doesn't have to fit back into the 4x4x4 cube after the race. It just needs to survive the race. Oh, and I think it just snapped off. So that rear left tire may be done, and it may, depending on whether or not they're going to carry it through the race or if they're finished, remains to be seen. So it looks like they're going to try to just continue to pull through the race. Yeah, that left wheel is definitely all the way off. I'm trying to see if the other racer is actually hanging on to it. Actually, the wheel itself is hanging on to they've hung it up by the spokes on the axle of the rear axle of the buggy. So Team Italy looks like they're going to continue to try to stretch and pull their way through. I'll see how much further they can get. They're going to try to find another way to maybe try to push it through. We're hoping, though, that's not a catastrophic failure to the point where they're not able to fix it for tomorrow.
I guess we will be home until we'll be out of here by that time. Get it in the morning.
It looks like Team Italy is about to make their way into the crater. We'll see how far they can get as far as that is concerned. Okay. So I don't know if Jeff, if you were able to see what happened there to their particular buggy, but the give that they usually have when it comes to the suspension in the tires, you know, why they're built a little bit so that they'll be at a sort of an angle. They overdid it on the back left tire. Unfortunately, for a while they were riding it. It was almost completely horizontal.
There's a number of teams that have come with tires angled wider at the bottom and narrower at the top, and I'm sure there's a engineering reason for that. I'm not quite familiar with it. But as you said, it appears that this time maybe it went just a little too far, and the stress from the obstacles got the better of it.
I was hoping that it's going to be the kind of problem that they can fix relatively easily.
If it isn't something they can take a look at and fix in their pit area, I'm sure they'll be making a beeline to the repair tent to see what, if any, repairs can be made.
That's true. That's one of the things that NASA does supply for the teams is a nice sized repair tent with an arc welder to help, or welding tools, I should say, and soldering tools to help try to put some things back together.
They're going to have a hard time if it's made out of aluminum. There might not be a lot that they can do with that.
All right, I think that they've officially hit their 10-minute limit, so it sounds like they're trying to clear the course. If I was hearing correctly from one of the radios that the judges had. All right, so while we double-check, let me double-check with one of the judges here to make sure that is the case. They're still on. They're not telling them they have to pull off just yet, but I can't tell if one of them is looking like they're going to try to ride, because maybe the front suspension and wheels may still be working.
No, I'm going to be telling you. So how do I address you all here?
Well, the front driver was attempting to carry the wheel that had broken off of the vehicle, and one of our judges and assistants on the course has taken that from the rider to at least give her some assistance in getting them down the course.
It looks like she's still attempting to pedal. No, they're going to stay on the course. Although I think there's another penalty, though, for not finishing with all your buggy pieces. But this time it's not one of like the radar antenna or the camera, that kind of thing. This is actually a wheel they're not going to finish the race with. But it looks like they're going to stay out there and try to get through in under 10 minutes.
And we'll get a good view of them as they come around the berm here. But you know, it's got to be exhausting on the rear driver because he's trying to carry the vehicle.
We're still keeping an eye on them, and you see some of their teammates running along next to them. In fact, one of the team sponsors, by the name of Ralph Heckel, who has been a sponsor of this team out of Germany for years, and has helped been one of the greatest champions of the Moonbuggy race internationally, who's this year has brought us one of the team from Moscow as well as Italy. We saw him running by here a few minutes ago. I'm sure we'll be glad to talk to him a little bit later. Oh, in fact, there he is, right there at the side of the track as the rest of the teammates try to chase down the team from Italy. And we see them now as they're attempting to approach the Saturn 1. And as to the judges' radios, we just heard they now have 1 minute and 30 seconds to try to finish. They're still going to give it a go.
Yeah, they're having it appears to be a difficult time steering this. It's not so much that the rear driver can't provide enough energy to push them along, but every once in a while they seem to have some steering problems, which makes it much more difficult.
Well, these are, Riot. Is that, were they?
So they're through under the Saturn 1. They've got a little bit further to go if they're going to try to at least get far along in the race to allow them to finish.
Oh, this PEC University is over. Now they're getting kind of...
And this is obviously going to be very taxing, this part of it.
But we'll give them credit and game for trying to make it all the way through, even in the spite of a catastrophic breakdown on their vehicle.